So, did you read Stephen J. York's review of Silent Running?
I read York's review of Silent Running, and well, if I remember correctly, his point was that not only was Silent Running should be considered among the best science fiction movies, but it's also one of those movies that is pivotal, or it had changed science fiction. And I agree with that. I do. I agree and disagree. I agree because of the form and content of the movie and the way that it affected me, but I also disagree because of the way or the time it came out and the little bit of marketing that they were able to do. Or actually, I read that in that article, I believe that it was an experiment. They tried to just make 5 movies under $1 million, and then
no marketing,
and just drop them in major cities and see how they did. And so, just because of that reason, I think it wasn't maybe as seminal as it could have been. On the other hand, I bet you all the right film figures did see the movie, and I think went on to be influenced by it. You know, Lucas and Ridley Scott.
Yeah, Lucas offered the filmmakers $20,000 to buy the rights to Dewey to use them in Star Wars. Did you know that?
I had heard that from you, that's a great story.
And they said, "No, George Lucas, you get your own damn robots. You don't use ours."
Yeah, the similarities between the drones, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and R2-D2, the droids, was a little too conspicuous to not be, immediately noticeable. Mm-hmm. So, and my understanding is that Silent Running was 1972, and Star Wars wasn't until
77.
5 years later.
Yeah.
And so, Silent Running struck me as being really ahead of its time and seminal in showing that science fiction can do important things. It's not just a B movie. It's not just a monster movie.
Or for kiddies.
Not just for kiddies. It's not just soap opera stuff or space opera stuff, that it can represent real issues, social allegories, and the like. And so it really is a great film.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, I'm laying this on you now, but when I talked with Steve Forbes, he listed Silent Running as the best science fiction film of all time. Where would you rank it? Would you put it in the top 10, or where might you put it?
Yeah, I would. That's a good question. I don't really do things that way. I mean, I have favorites. I don't make a lot of lists and things, but yeah, I would say it would be right up there. I mean, Silent Running would, if I had to pick 10, I'd really have to think about that. But if you want to think of it like island movies, like if you could only have 10 movies on an island, you could never watch any other movie again, I don't think I'd pick Silent Running because it was just too sad. It just really hurt my heart, just the whole...
Well, it was supposed to be sad.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not sure I need to... I'll see it again, but I'm not sure I need to relive that time and time again. But yeah, it definitely is one of my favorite sci-fi movies, for sure.
Mm-hmm. But, it's interesting because, to me, it was sad, but it was beautiful and hopeful at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that hope was still there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end with Dewey in the watering can. It was like sad and tragic, but it was beautiful and poetic all at the same time and moving.
I think you're right. I'll lay in on a little secret. I'm a bit of a weeper, I guess, if I'm alone. If a movie is good, or music even, sometimes I've been known to cry just a little bit. And when I tried to watch Silent Running, I couldn't find it anywhere. I believe I had to borrow it on VHS from a friend. I understand now you can get it on Netflix and you can see the documentary, and I can't wait to see all that behind-the-scenes stuff and see it on DVD, maybe remastered. But I watched it on VHS, and when it came on, I believe there was a song, something about the sun by Joan Baez. Rejoice in the Sun by Joan Baez, and I just remember feeling, my first initial reaction was this didn't fit. It felt weird. I thought it was going to be a hokey movie. And I saw the first shot of the ships, or whatever, the establishing special effects, and I just kind of thought, well, here we go. But I come from sort of a film and video background, so when I watch movies, it's hard for me to not look at the production values and get drawn into, like, how are they doing this, what techniques are they using. But I usually only do that when I'm bored, and I know a movie's good when I stop analyzing the production techniques and actually get drawn in to the movie. And within 20 minutes of watching Silent Running, I had completely forgotten that this was a movie from 1972 and that the music was a little hokey and that things seemed a little stilted. They were using punch cards and things, and I was completely drawn in to the drama of Bruce Dern's character's kind of not really madness but sanity, I guess, in a world of madness. And anyway, by the end, I was crying like a baby when that Joan Baez song came on at the end, and the Rejoice in the Sun, and the last vestige of the earth, or of the ecosystem, the allegory of nature. I just think about the film had a resonating impact on me because of the symbolism of the earth and the way we've treated the earth. Even in the 70s, they knew like we were seriously screwing up, and now even more so with global warming and environmental toxins, and it just holds so true. Anyway, it just seemed like a very sincere, a very real movie, and did make me cry a little bit, and that's what I appreciated about it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, at the premiere, most of the Academy was bawling.
Really? Yeah.
At the film, it wasn't uniquely you. I'm not someone who cries easily at movies.
Yeah.
But I was feeling teary-eyed at the end.
Yes.
I was so moved. And there's not many films I can say that about. So they actually were bawling.
Yeah.
They were bawling, not just crying, bawling at the end of the film.
I wept
and then
for a
they
good.
Stood up and gave the movie a standing ovation.
Yeah, that movie deserves applause and definitely a little crying stint. It was beautifully done.
Okay. What did you like about the movie?
Well, there were many different things I liked about the movie. I think what stays with me is probably the importance of it, the way that it again shows that science fiction can do something important, can express important ideas, and those are ideas that values, I'll say, of conservation maybe that I grew up with and that resonate with me, and so that's what kind of sticks with me. Another way of saying that would be I like the movie's politics, I guess. I liked, the counterculture tie-in with Bruce Dern, this sort of relatively unknown who had played, I understand from talking to you, basically had been typecast as psychos or like villains in westerns and stuff.
The actual quote from Dern is his career as a movie star, he played more dopers, degenerates, and psychos than anyone else in Hollywood.
Yeah. He didn't have anything to do with Easy Rider, did he?
No.
Okay, cut that part. But anyway, and then the tie-in with Joan Baez, and so Dern, Baez, both kind of counterculture figures, and that was the world that's kind of familiar to me. It was cool to see that brought into the science fiction genre. If the question was what I liked, I loved that he made that decision. He went crazy. He couldn't identify with his fellow shipmates, and the decision to nuke all these, spoiler alert, to nuke all these pods of ecosystems. And so, of course, he ends up going on a rampage and offing everybody and taking the ship out on his own. And I love that plot development. I never expected it. And then I was just on the edge of my seat just till the end. So